Saturday Showdown. Hanwha Life Esports versus T1.
As long as it's not Elise, I guess we're happy here. But Pantheon is going to be locked in, and so they did want some sort of engage.
It's great. It's great into Nefiri because Nefiri obviously has untargetable, but once that's down and she's in the thick of things, she can't really get out. And if your only target is Azir, he's got self-peel, and then you've got a Pantheon to follow up. So I feel like it's maybe just simply put the best answer to the Nefiri setup here. That's why they opted for it. It's decent into Rakan as well, as he goes in, you stun him, you lock him down. It's difficult for him to get out. Take it away.
You're going in. It's game one right now. You know, like the space pinball game?
Yeah, it was at Space 3D Pinball or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
That was a good one. At times when, for some reason, I just didn't have internet.
Well, for me, it was when I
can't win.
Yeah. The interesting thing to me is I feel like as Rich gets a really nice trade here.
Yeah, but, you know, clear. A couple more autos and, you know, maybe Rich goes down, but not in deep. And even before the Rift Herald, you saw a lot of trading across the map, even if it wasn't over objectives. As we are going to have an engage here from BNK. That is a nice combo on a sponge. Remember, he doesn't have the flash, has to just go in. And there it is, first blood given over to Clear. That's going to be a nice start for him.
Anyway, no. And then decided to go back to the top lane. Rich is getting a nice lead down here.
Yeah, he just ulted straight into Diablo. Diablo is going to hit level 6, so I don't think he dies, but he is going to use his barrier instead of his ult.
Keeping his ultimate under this tower will be more valuable if that Xin Zhao shows up. It's, ooh, can't get hit by those, man.
No, it's Diablo. It's all calculated. He's playing right on the edge. Didn't get a kill last time Vikla didn't have his flash, so maybe this time will be the charm. Overall, a good trade. Why does this keep happening? And he really is Diablo this time around. Rich is just going to kill him.
Yeah, there is. We'll get a look now. I mean,
So he probably just
saw.
Oh no!
That's just not okay. That's unfortunate. And then, unfortunately, he ults, and Rich is just like, well.
DRX are going to get one. So they got the one, but now they're trying to abandon ship once again, and now we got a 1v1 up on the top side, but Diable potentially here, as he is going to flash, and now he's got his Rakan coming in, and the Ignite is going to come through as baited potentially. Teddy in a bit of trouble. The flash does come out, but he's got a Nefiri on his back, and that will be enough. Raptor does pick up the kill, and so BNK will be able to trade one back.
Yeah, and DRX only pick up one grub here. I mean, now Vikla's got control of this top side. Looks like he's gonna grab a plate, and that's going to be 5 grubs for BNK. So, not feeling like BNK are finding any angles.
Well, just gonna try to get some vision in here.
Perhaps. Oh, Ocean.
Yeah, we did have an Ocean yesterday, but another Ocean Soul. Not so bad. Don't see it all the time. It feels like a special occasion because it seems kind of rare.
Would have been pretty rough for BNK if it was a Mountain Soul with this Scion.
It's got enough.
Yeah.
Even Azir as well.
Raptor.
Yeah, just going to go untargetable. We got a deep flanking TP coming in. This is a Jace who is going to be coming in here. We do have the charm in mid. They don't even need him for that. Vikla in a bit of trouble, but BNK are winning this fight right now. Sponge going very deep for it as Vikla finally gets punished by Rich, who's the only guy who's doing something on this DRX team. Going to help pick up a second kill and kind of spare the blushes of that wonky fight.
Weaver's wall and his Talia, so with passive, he's just kind of surfing our way in as we have an engage onto a Xin Zhao.
I mean, there's the wall. Ondale is just going to get stunned up as he goes in. At least he has the shield, but not for very long. Elects not to flash.
Living there denies some gold, but wouldn't change too much.
Oh, going in as now Vikla kind of isolated here on the right side. BNK just going to leave him out to dry. They say, man, you're dead. There's nothing we can do. They accidentally run into each other. Yeah. They're like, oh, I guess we got to fight. Speaking of which,
Rich,
this is not accidental, and that is going to get the Featherstorm out as a stun will come through, but a little bit too far under the turret, so no follow-up there.
Valuable to get that could start up in 40 seconds. This is Yukal's catch here on the Vikla. Like I said, I'm going to look for him, finds him, kills him. It's like this is the big spike for the Azir where he's got Leandri's and the Nashor's Tooth, does a lot of damage over time. Also does a lot of damage to turrets in a side lane. But yeah, he would have liked to have that kill. Not the end of the world, but see what he can get done in this upcoming fight here. Does have his ult back online, no flash, but still has a long engage range. And Diablo still a ways away from his ultimate, so he is a prime target if he positions early, but he's going to opt to push instead for now.
Just a wall here to try to get mid lane turret. It might actually pay off. The dragon is forfeited by BNK.
TP from UCal to deny that top turret, but they will lose the mid one, as you say.
Ooh, and that top one is pretty...
Purchase that, as Raptor may have to become untargetable, or perhaps not.
I mean, Anlo going to put up shields here. We do have BNK going pretty deep, but they get the TP, and I think smartly just not going to overcommit in the enemy jungle.
Team fighting is going to be tough against this comp, but they need to hold on to this lead as here comes Vikla.
Oh, they're going really deep for that one. He goes untargetable, though, and it's UCal who gets caught out. The follow-up is excellent from Kellen, and they just burst him down. That's all they have to do.
They don't even have to take 5v5 fights if they just keep playing through this pressure and isolating targets and killing them. That was pretty bold, but it's going to be easier said than done.
I mean, they might be able to kill clear, but I don't know. BNK, I think they should have just taken the Baron. They elect to go for the fight. The redemption comes in, but already taking a bunch of damage. But still, BNK winning this one so far. The flip back is good, but Rich picks up a third kill. Might have to pay for it, though, as down he will go. It's another kill.
Kills there. You mentioned how much damage Diablo did in that fight. You can see Rich, as tanky as he is, is killable, especially with the fight starting off the way it did. Kind of sloppy there from BNK. They'll get away with it. And this is kind of what I was talking about, where I'm like, okay, we've seen them throw leads strong, but BNK are just not going to let them have that 5v5. They just keep pushing, they keep extending vision, they keep finding angles. Now turning on to Rich.
Yeah, and DRX, they keep trying to take fights when they're down members, and it feels a bit desperate, like they're trying to claw their way back in with a nice fight, but they're behind already in gold, but down a member as well. Even if it is your support, it is going to be difficult to find the angle, I'd say, as now Otacon left alive, just sitting there for BNK, and you see pickup.
There's no reason to try to push this Baron buff into inhibitors right now when you could just get an Otacon instead and extend your lead. You've gotten so much value out of the Baron already, 3,000 plus, and DRX just can't really get here. They don't have any vision.
They're going to try to bully their way through as a 5-man unit.
I mean, Kellen could just sacrifice himself here, essentially. I mean, he doesn't even have to if he doesn't get caught, and they're just saying, you can't come anywhere near this Otacon, it's mine. They could win a fight, they could get back in, but they're just not giving him that fight.
Yeah, they're definitely not. We see Raptor just able to pressure on the side, as once again they just charm up UCal. UCal not able to play the game tonight. It's just not happening for him, and the dive follow-up is there. Teddy just got here, doesn't even elect to ult in. Now he has to, and he's just gonna die instead. BNK way too far ahead, as the Zion who got fed feels pretty good, but not good enough, as they're just pretty much withdrawing underneath the turret because they can. Didn't have to do that, but for the vibes, I suppose. The mental edge is BNK might just end the game right here.
I mean, they have a wave coming through, and I mean, 20 seconds on UCal, I just don't think there's a defense here.
That's not looking too likely, but without the Baron, maybe Rich can clear this wave. He's absolutely trying his best, and BNK low on health. They're not gonna
it's just not a tanky comp,
Well, they're going to go in onto Diablo and Kellen as Zonto just dies. And meanwhile, we have Clear coming on in and just ending the game as this is happening. And we got a little bit of a team fight. Hard to even call it a team fight at this point, as Clear is going to go into the 1v1. He's just going to go for Rich, actually. We got another TP coming in as the team fight is going the way of BNK, and they should be able to end this game from here. Unless the zombie Scion does something, but not looking very likely. The two of them alone will hit the Nexus, and BNK go up 1-0.
우리 괜찮아?
아 무리 안 해도 돼.
안해. 가봐.
일어날게 오늘 살짝.
내가 아들을 텔 끊어볼게 이거. 가봐. 텔 끊을 각으로 맞을 거야. 판테 노플. 확인.
사이언 텔. 몇개 이러 간다.
봐줄래? 싸워줘. 나 딜러트 봐줄게. 야 싸우자. 야 나 딜러 돌았어. 소용없어. 하이사풀 돌았어. 하이사 노플. 하이사 잡았고. 아들을 좀 볼게. 나부터 볼게 우리. 야 이겼어.
하나야 민호?
끝나. 세번 할게. 이기잖아. 아 이기지 사이온.
이겨야 하잖아.
개패지.
컷.
한판 나가자. 나이스. 좋았다 얘들아.
And Clear and Diablo putting up big numbers here. Same with Raptor, honestly. I mean, he did a lot of Q burn, he did a lot of dog Leandres, but nah, he went on some big prio targets, and some of the fights and engages we saw when they were getting picks onto Yukao, for example, was just super well coordinated. And they the question, as we always have with teams that are on the east side, is can they play it? Can they pilot it well?
Yeah.
The Leona I was alluding to earlier just seems super obvious, especially now they have the Viego lock-in. I think BNK got a very straightforward draft here. Like, there's not a lot of finesse required. You know, you lock people down, Ezreal shoots them from far away, Ezreal controls objectives by poking and staying away from the champions on the side of DRX. The Ambessa, I feel like it's really hard to use in team fights here because getting the backline is not going to be easy and not necessarily going to be safe either to do.
As here on the side of BNK, definitely playable from the red side. Nicely done. We're ready. Let's hop into the Rift for game number 2.
And having playtime with Arya on KT Rolster was when Ari got reworked. And he played it a few times back then. If my memory serves me well.
From the Renekton early on.
You know, a bit of an engage here again.
Going on in, proccing the Aftershock, but still taking a bunch of damage.
Ezreal is also a very strong lane. You know, it's very punishing if you get caught. Now, Raptor's down here.
Yeah, nice little dive set up here, although Kellen is going to get extremely low. First blood goes over, and Raptor as well is just dead. It's 2 kills given over to DRX in a failed dive in the bot lane.
Raptor priced into. At least, you know, Diablo does get a kill. He is significantly ahead in terms of CS. As up here...
Yeah, Kellen doesn't have flash, and he's tanking up quite a lot. This is still a Leona. Felt like Teddy wasn't ready for it, almost. He was just hitting the minions, and so not a lot of damage goes in onto that Leona.
It's weird.
Yeah, they were just delayed, you know. Nice little charm dodge, but Kellen also here, okay, gonna miss that. Yukao, I mean, it was a nice dodge, yes, but also he wasn't moving all that much. Diablo gonna get hit by the ult here, and now he's in a lot of trouble as he does not seem to have his Arcane Shift. Actually winning the trade now. As I say that, Flash comes in, still...
Conquer procs at the end of that. He was ready to take the kill.
All right, this time for sure... No, okay. The Dominus is already here.
Does a lot of damage.
Zyra does, but already a miss on the root. A bit of damage coming out from the plants, and they've really chunked him down. Another dive happening in the bottom lane. Because I thought that dive would be a lot easier. The follow-up dive here is clean from the side of DRX, so in fact you can dive.
Feels pretty nice here for DRX.
I mean, vision control and everything is going the way of DRX. A miss on the Charm, the Spirit Rush also used, as well as the Heartbreaker. Diablo also taking a big chunk from Teddy. Feels like DRX de facto will take over this river and
able to use his ult in this situation, so feeling pretty good. As Raptor is pretty low from that last skirmish, is going to start this Dragon up, and Viktor will TP, so it should be able to get this, but the big advantages stack up across the lanes outside of topside.
What are we watching?
Supportal combat!
Kellen, where are you going? I mean, he's stopping his back, I guess. But if you give him enough time, I mean, we're even seeing a Magnet Storm here. Oh, Anvil got him, I guess, and now baited, I suppose. Okay, that was really strange. Teddy.
But Sponge is behind on farm, but making a much bigger impact in this game, although right now, maybe not.
Yeah, he doesn't have any flash or teammates or anything, and Clear's just going to pick up a nice kill.
A 200 gold lead.
Well, we got Yukao in a lot of trouble here, and he's going to elect not to flash. Definitely the right choice, especially with also Kellen making his way up there. There's just no way.
And from behind without full vision control like BNK had last game, it's a little tricky. As Anvil's out here.
He is out here, grinding. He's trying his best.
The top lane has that big wave of minions going through, but I think DRX would be happy to drop them to get this Herald. See if that collapses. If you can find a good target here on this Ahri.
Well, gonna miss the solar flare, but the charm's gonna land. Nice dodge on the root as well. Clear is in that back line amongst 5 of them, and the damage comes through. They just take him out. The MF ult is going to do a lot of damage there as well, but it's already 4v3 in favor of BNK, and Teddy's got to flash away. Raptor looking for some more. as the resets coming through for the Viego and the Ahri.
While he won't be able to deal with the misfortune and the wave push, he is not going to die in this scenario and will be able to hold the turret. I want to watch that again because in unusual circumstances, but we might get a replay of it to figure out a little bit more, but it looks like he was just trying to clear vision towards this dragon, ended up getting caught. Feeds his strength to DRX after that play. One other thing I wanted to point out in that fight too is even though being Otacon and 40 is Andil.
All right, well, he's going to go in on the Viego once again. He's setting up for Teddy's ultimate afterwards, but, I mean, maybe trying to bait them into a fight there in the... Yeah, feels like Cloud Soul is huge for BNK.
Absolutely massive.
So, I mean, think about Renekton, think about Viego, Ahri, really obvious ones, but even the bottom lane as well. Gonna have an ult in here, and gonna chase him down this very long lane. Clear has Flash and Dominus, and he just doesn't want any of it. He doesn't have any vision, he doesn't want to take the risk. Kellen, this time he's got Flash. So
Plays very long. As well, top laners just take turns killing turrets.
Oh, we got a TP coming in. They want to punish Rich here, but Rich is Ambessa with Flash. Gonna get over this wall. Clear says, well...
Everyone but Vikla has it.
Uh-oh. Hide on Bush. And guess who's up here as well? No objective just yet, but we got TPs coming in, but guess what? It's already 2v1. So your TP, Rich, it's not going to amount to all too much. He's just going to have to run away, as now Raptor is Corki chasing after the flashless Ambessa, and the rest of the team is coming up here as well. They don't even need them, as the Heartbreaker does come out. Raptor gets a big shutdown. This Viego is pretty gigantic right now. Flash Charm right on top of Sponge, but he will be punished for it. Vikla does get locked down by Andil, but now with the resets coming through with the Viego and the Renekton and the Ezreal, this is what this comp loves to do, is just chase you down, get more resets, and have a very scrappy fight. DRX not able to find the team fight they were looking for.
You know, they expected it was going to be more dragon focused. Yukao can TP in, so he's just going to hold it up there. As Vikla's on a flank here.
Oh man. This is what the Ezreal does from ahead, and now that flank you mentioned is gigantic. They try to go in on it onto Viego once again. It's just not lighting up for Andil. He just keeps going in on Viego and getting punished. 4 kills happen in the blink of an eye.
I think they will close it out. Like, they're playing so well.
I mean, Raptor incredibly strong here. He's just baiting them into fights. Like, this area is controlled by BNK. DRX have no business being around there and trying to turn that one onto the Viego that's got 6 kills.
See that gets a lot of gold because of her farming, but farming kills does give you a 3.3 thousand lead, and now he's got a shield.
Yeah, the shield bow, right?
Yeah, shield bow, sorry. I think I said Bloodthirster.
Stick out, they got like the white in the middle, it makes sense. Yeah, Sponge might just be dead here. I'm not sure about the follow-up, though. The Flash Charm not going to land this time.
There's a possibility he gets caught on rotation.
Yeah, it looks like there was a ward that spotted them.
Andil is so important for setting up those combos. He cannot get caught. Goes down to half health.
Just turning on a Rich here. I feel like BNK don't necessarily have to do this, but 9. As here comes Kellen, he's going to engage straight onto Teddy, not going to follow up there. Vikla does get isolated. Kellen is going down. This is a very messy fight, but the Cloud Soul still taken by BNK. In goes Vikla once again. Look at the damage from the True Shot Barrage, but no follow-up here for Clear. As a massive kill comes in. He locks 2 of them down, and just baited by the Fed Renekton once again. Well, okay, well, that was kind of sad, but it's okay. You already did your job, and Diablo will clean up from here.
He just saved the fight for them, 100% on his own. Against Teddy, it's making a very large impact.
Hasn't been much of a contest between the two of them.
No,
actually. Diablo's just been winning every game so far. Andil gonna go in. He is gonna catch a Ezreal, but that's not a real target. And Andil will be going down. Teddy also pretty low. In they both go though, stacking on top of each other into the Zyra. But I think the wallets are heavy enough that they can just press their buttons, go all in, and end the game. As Rich, just pulled out of his ult.
I think definitely some of the hype for DRX deflating after this one, but I gotta say, it was a clean series from B&K, start to finish. Here. Vikla very vocal. He's not just calling out Clear for messing up going over the wall. He's sharing some information.
Yeah.
And we know Kellen has never really been the shot caller type, so it's not surprising to see other players pick up the slack, actually, here in the case of B&K. Good to see Vikla being vocal.
Yeah. He needed someone to do it. And Vikla is certainly a voice. He's been around for a decent while now as well. I mean, so is Kellen, but as you mentioned, he's already kind of declared that he's not really a shot calling type. Diablo with huge damage. I think you get an Ezreal this fed. It's just bound to happen, but excellently played as well. Was really impressed by that. And Raptor, and big numbers going to clear as well.
Yeah. I voted for Raptor for POM. I thought his performance across both games was really solid, and his play, his gank in the top side is what kind of solidified the game. You could find it on the gold diff in the graph if you try hard.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Raptor on the side of BNK FureX. Congratulations! This is your second consecutive victory. How do you feel?
상대가 잘한다고 생각하고 준비를 열심히
today?
했는데 생각보다
We prepared really hard for today's match, thinking that our opponent is very strong, and I'm really happy that we're able to secure today's victory. This is your second victory in a row, and a unanimous one. Did you expect one?
누가 받을지 좀 예상이 안 됐는데
You know, I couldn't really predict who was going to get POM today,
but
I guess it was deserved.
BNK FureX 이전 인터뷰에서 서두르지 않고 해야 할 플레이를 해주는
And in a previous interview, we heard that you guys had to remain composed and execute the play that you have to make. So what changed that brought your performance to this level? I think we discussed a lot as a team regarding what we have to improve on in terms of mechanics and technicality, but I think that's what really made the difference. I feel like we always had a really strong early game, and we never was able to close out a lot of the games that we were able to take, so I think that's what we worked on the most. And you had an incredible performance in Naafiri jungle. Before today, Naafiri had a 37.5% win rate. So do you have a tip for Naafiri at all?
좀 시야
Well,
위주로 잘 하면 될 것 같습니다.
I think you just really have to play around the vision.
시야에 신경 잘 쓰시면 좋을 것 같습니다. 연습 경기와의 간극을 좀 좁히기 위해서 여유를 갖고 게임을 하려고 했다.
Just to close the gap between your practice matches and the real matches on stage, it looks like Kellen had mentioned that you guys really need some calm and collected mindset. And it looks like you got that. Is that right? Yes, I think so too. So what's next? What's your next goal?
사소한 디테일을 채워야 된다고
Our next goal would be to sort of focus on those all those kind of minute and detailed plays within the matches. And your next opponent will be KT Roaster. What is your resolution? KT is also a very good team. And just as good of a momentum we have right now, we want to go ahead and keep it up. And that's the end of the interview with Raptor, and back to the space. Thank you.